This is probably the most useful 3 tips for working with a makeup artist. Number 1, make sure you've got a high stool that's comfortable for your model to sit on. Number 2, give them a dedicated working area because they come with loads of stuff. And number 3, make sure it's well lit with daylight balanced light. Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that's got everything for us photographers. I'm going to add to that, make sure you've got access to water, music playing, and leave them plenty of time. In fact, this video is packed full of tips and tricks for working with your first makeup artist. Except they're not here yet, which is good news because I'm actually going to start not by getting my lights ready, but by clearing this area up, getting everything set, and let's get make-upping. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a thing. To help me out today, I've got the amazing Chloe. Chloe's going to be the model for this photo session, but she's not alone because we also have the awesome Charlotte, who is our makeup artist today. They're both working quite hard at the moment, so let me explain what we've done before they both got here to make sure the whole session goes as smoothly as possible. When it came to Chloe, advising your model that there's going to be a makeup artist on site is important, and you can advise your model not to come with any makeup on because the first thing your makeup artist is likely to do is remove it all from their face, so that can save a bit of time. For your makeup artist, you need to tell them what you want. A mood board is a great way of explaining your ideas and seeing what works, what they can do, what you can do. A meeting of minds will happen very well if you give them some guidance in the first place. And then, if you're working to a specific time frame, if you have a deadline where you have to hit, you need to tell your makeup artist because they need to factor that into what they can do in the time that's available. Okay, well, they've got plenty to do, and I've got a few things I can be doing as well. So to help me out today, I've got the amazing Polly. Polly is a polystyrene head on a stick, but it's a great way to test out lighting, and I've got so much spare time, makeup really does take a while, that this is a great way to use that time productively. I've got 2 lighting ideas in mind, so I'm going to test both of them, but before I do any of that, I'm going to set my camera up to a shutter speed of 250th of a second, which is my flash sync speed, f5.6 for reasonable depth of field, and ISO 200, which is the native ISO for my OM system OM1 camera. I'm actually going to test the second lighting look first, which doesn't make sense, but it will in a moment. And I've got a few things prepared, mostly Polly at around about the same height that Chloe is, which means I can get my lights at roughly the right height as well. So I'm going to get this light, the key light, to meet at f5.6, just like my camera. And I've got the background light on 1/64th power. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to make a mental note of those settings. And then I can set up the second look, which is actually the first look. So this is going to be a much simpler one. It's just going to be a single light. Not surprisingly, the exposure hasn't changed on the flash. It's still 1/32nd power to get f5.6, but the difference here is quite obvious. And the reason I've set this look up last is because actually this is where I want to start the real photo session just as soon as the makeup is ready, and I think we're nearly there. So the makeup is done, so we can get Polly out of the picture and bring Chloe in if you want to come in, Chloe. So the makeup look for this session is, well, to tie in with the background. So obviously we've got this sort of buttercup yellow colour going on, and Charlotte's done Chloe's eye makeup to tie in with that. But more than that, she's also done her skin as well. So when it comes to the retouching in these photos, there's a lot less for me to do. So let's just take a test photo, make sure this actually works. Here we go, quick little test photo. Yeah, and first picture, straight off, it looks really good. We're straight in with some great pictures. Okay, let's come in for a little bit of a closer picture. Here we go. And that's pretty much it. We are good to go. Makeup looks amazing. Lighting is all set. Chloe is ready. Let's take a few pictures like this. Here we go. A makeup artist, or MUA, is exactly that. They are an expert at doing makeup. They are not there to do other things like hair. Now, you might find a makeup artist can do hair as well, but don't assume that you've hired a hair and makeup artist. You might need somebody else to do that, and you've got to check that before the session starts. In this case, Chloe has done her own hair and she's done a really good job. Tethering on set is just a great idea all round, but in this case I've actually put the screen next to Charlotte, so the makeup artist can have a look at the images as they're coming in, spot anything that needs to be sorted out sooner rather than later. Their job doesn't stop once the makeup is done. A good makeup artist will be with you on set, and if the model touches their face or they wear sunglasses and it removes some of the makeup, your makeup artist will jump into your set and fix it, and the sooner they do that, the less retouching you're going to do later. Once you've got a makeup artist in with you, you might want to do more than one look through the session. And that's a really good idea, but there are a couple of things to consider if you're going to do that. First of all, the time. You need to allocate time in your session to apply the second look. And then there is the order in which you do your photography. So think about it. Do you need to do a complicated look and a simple look? If so, do the simple look first. Are you doing a light look followed by a dark look? If so, do the light look first. It'll just help your makeup artist if they can add to what they've already done rather than stripping it all off, starting again, which adds to your time. And of course, whilst you're waiting, let's go set up the next session. For the second look, we got some A3 sheets of coloured paper, stuck them onto a piece of cardboard to make this wheel of rainbow colours, and I needed Charlotte's makeup to reflect that. So what we did is came up with some ideas around a sort of random abstract pattern of colour across Chloe's face, and Charlotte has done this amazing textured effect which looks absolutely fantastic. What I want is Chloe to be pretty close to this rather amazing handmade background, and I want really that background to fill the frame and be reasonably evenly lit. I'm not so sure that this is right. I think this is just too flat. So I've moved the key light around so it's more at an angle, but being a large light source, it is going to wrap around Chloe a little bit. Then to fill in the shadows so it's not as completely dark and shadowy as it could be, I'm going to get my reflector and sort of angle it the other way. And that's just going to push a little bit of light into that shadow side. Not too much, just a hint, but I think that adds a bit of depth and three dimensions that this picture really needed. In fact, the only thing it needs more than this is Chloe in the picture. So let's do that now. So Polly has done her job, and now it's down to Chloe. As you can see, the makeup this time is radically different, and that's exactly what I asked for. I asked for a rainbow and a kind of abstract look. Charlotte's done a fantastic job, and now it's down to me to try and reproduce that with some photos. So let's take a test photo and see how this goes. Has all that practice paid off? Well, let's find out. And the answer is, oh yes, very, very much it's paid off. That looks absolutely fantastic. Go in close and you can see the detail in these photos, the workmanship that's gone into the makeup, absolutely remarkable. Of course, the background really works well here too. So that's basically it. We're more or less set to go. So we're going to take a few pictures like this, and then we might just swap the lighting in the background around a little bit because I want to maximize this look in the time scale that we've got left to take some photos. So Chloe, are you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. If you've never worked with a makeup artist before, the length of time it takes to do really good makeup might surprise you. And in fact, you might find that your photo shoot lasts less time than the makeup side of things did. But that's okay, because your images will look so much better with a makeup artist on board. However, do remember, you're paying for everybody's time, and if you're paying by the hour, your model will want to be paid for the time in the chair as well as the time in front of the camera, and that's only fair. finally, don't forget to take some pictures for the makeup artist. Now, I really like doing this because it means that they get something back from the session, and although we're paying everybody for their work, it's great if they get some images of your work that they really love and that they're going to share on their social media. So yeah, this is always a win for me. The first time you bring a makeup artist into your photo sessions is an interesting experience, and it does change the way you work and the way you edit, because they do things like doing skin tones that are matte rather than shiny and open up a whole range of creative makeup ideas that even our best models who can do their own makeup really well just couldn't achieve. Now, if you've enjoyed this video or you've got any questions, leave me a comment down below. Click on the bell icon and you'll never miss a video right here on Adorama TV. And I'm sure you've already done it, but if you haven't clicked on the subscribe button, click on the subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.